Oh hey, today I'm going to be working on the budget Buick Build. Got to button up a few small things in the interior so I can get ready to throw the new motor in this thing. So tag along and see what we're doing. So one of the things I'm doing is replacing the steering column. I took the steering column out of this and sent it off with a parts card that I had that someone took. And reason being is we're putting a console in this car, so I didn't want there to be the column shift lever in this. So this column was a console shift car column. Obviously no tilt, but that's okay. So I'm going to be putting this column in the car. And I've also got to get in here. I've got a new dash for this. This dashboard has been melted here. I guess the cigarette lighter. So I've got another dashboard to go in this. And so I'm gonna, before I put the steering column in and get the steering column in the way, I thought, okay, well, I might as well pull that dash out and put the other dash in that I have, and maybe just clean up some of this other stuff in here while I'm here, because you know how things go. One thing leads to another and another. So we'll get this dashboard out of here so I can replace that, and hopefully I can find the other one that I had because it's been so long. So we're gonna get this dashboard out, and I have to start by saying this car absolutely stinks. I think because I can kind of feel it on this side over here, it is, the headliner is full of a mouse nest, and man, oh man, I'm just scared to pull it apart, but I don't know that I can work in here without doing it. So anyways, it stinks in this car. Blech. So I'm just going to take a quick look. Everything looks pretty good in here. Yeah, wiring hasn't been too messed with. This all work. That works. That works. Cool. Okay. So before I throw this back together, I just checking to make sure that my cables for my heater aren't seized, because now's a good time. You got the dash out, might as well fix it. And we look to be good. There is some loose wiring in here that I'm not too happy about. So I'll have to figure out where this junk goes. I'm guessing it was from, oh yeah, must have been from a stereo at some point. So before we go ahead and put the dash back in, I'll cut all that stuff out because we don't need any of that floating around in there. So anyways, let's get to the dash. Okay, so this is the dash I took out of the car, and this is the one that I was going to put back in it that's not all burnt and has a cigarette lighter in it. Now you'll see, unfortunately, this one has the wood grain all peeled off on it. Now again, this is for Joanne. This is my wife's car. She hates wood grain. So I'm going to peel the rest of that off. So I've also got to take out this filler panel and put that in there. So maybe what I'll do is I'll strip all this out, I'll mask this stuff off, and then I will paint this lower portion of the dash bezel here. And it's always my most favorite thing to do because the paint never seems to stick properly, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got this stripped down the bottom half anyways, and I'm gonna try this chrome paint on it, see what happens. I got nothing to lose, so I'm gonna try and mask all this black stuff off the best that I can, and see if I can get this stuff to work. So I'm just gonna use some grease and wax remover here. This is the good stuff. There's stuff that you can buy off the shelf. Don't want to name the company, but anyways, I find that that stuff always leaves a weird finish and ends up ruining my paint. So I talked to the guys at the paint store one day and said, what do you recommend? They said this is the best stuff to use. Works really great. So anyways, that's what I'm using on. I would recommend going to your local automotive paint supplier and ask them what they recommend, what is the best grease and wax remover. So like I said, some of the other stuff I have had some not so good results with. So try and get in all the little cracks and crevices where, you know, dirt would have collected over the years. Just clean it all up. So I happen to have this proper masking paper, but if you didn't, I mean, you can just use anything, newspaper, cardboard, whatever you've got. Just make sure if you ever are painting stuff and you're using those materials, that you don't soak them down, because the paint will soak through them. Where this stuff is, basically it's wax, like wax paper. And you have to put the writing side out, this side goes out. And the paint won't soak through it if you happen to get a good amount of paint on it. Going on not too bad. I don't see any major wrinkles or bubbles forming, so we just want to keep going with a bunch of light coats. Alright, well, I know I said I didn't want to do it, but I just can't stand the smell anymore. So I'm going to do it. I think it's all just in that front part. I hope. I don't feel it anywhere else. Maybe I'll pull that other side off too. Alright, well, I didn't really want to do it yet, but when I first bought this car, I went all through it trying to figure out, I mean, there's no seats in it, and I was trying to figure out where the smell was coming from. It wasn't up under the dash, wasn't anywhere in the trunk. I mean, maybe there's some in the side panels, but it wasn't until I saw a bulge up here and went, oh God, no. I don't know if I'm ever going to get the smell out, and quite frankly, I can't stand it at the moment even working in here. It's getting hot outside, which means it's getting warmer in here, which means this is smelling worse. So anyways, let's just see what happens here. I'm going to try not to get this all over me. Oh God. Oh God. Gross. And try not to rip the headliner. But you know what? We may just have to throw this out. Oh geez, yeah. Executive decision, I think, has just been made that this headliner is garbage. Well, she wanted an all white interior. And it looks like we're heading that direction. Oh my God. Look at it all. God, I almost don't even know what to do. I don't want to get my head in there. Oh, yuck. Gross. Well, I don't know if they went any further back. Oh yeah, they did. Look at buggers. Okay, well, that's pretty nasty. So looks like she's getting a new headliner sooner than we thought. Anyways, I will finish cleaning up this stuff and hose everything down. Looks like I'm gonna also have to take out this insulation up here. Maybe, probably. Oh, and it's all in here too. I mean, that's the worst part because you can never get it all out of there. Oh man. Fun times. Alright, I'm just going to soak everything down with this stuff is called Spray 9. And it's just a cleaner, but it kills viruses and stuff. So if there's any chance of hantavirus in this, it'll kill it. And let me tell you, I've been sick off of this mouse stuff before, and it's not fun. Alright, let's check out and see, now that I'm done messing around with that, let's check out and see how our dash turned out. So that turned out alright. Now obviously I'll have to clean up the silver on these parts. But that can be done just with a simple little brush, and my wife is a lot better at that, so that'll be her job, seeing as how it's her car, so she'll have a project here as well. So So that's how you can spruce up your dash also if you have any issues with it. Just take your time, and again, the prep cleaner is what is really important, to not get it to do any crazy stuff. I didn't get any spidering or anything in this, which happens really often when you're painting the plastic. So take your time, use a real good cleaner, and you can do this as well. So hey, thanks for tagging along on this video. Please hit the subscribe button, like, follow along with all my other builds, and take care.